She walked in with a scream, eyes like fire, so mean, breaking hearts with no care. I saw through her cold stare. Lies and deceits all day, twisted games that she played. I had to break the chain, had to end all this pain. Psycho woman all about her, couldn't stay another hour. Packed my bag, said goodbye, no more tears left to cry. Like a queen, made my life a bad scene. Couldn't breathe, couldn't fight, I just had to take flight. She controlled like a queen, made my life a bad scene. Couldn't breathe, couldn't fight, I just had to take flight. Thought I missed her, but no, better off on my own. Now I'm free, I can breathe, left her drama to see. Psycho woman all about her, couldn't stay another hour. Packed my bag, said goodbye, no more tears left to cry. Like a queen, made my life a bad scene. Couldn't breathe, couldn't fight, I just had to take flight. Thought I'd miss her, but no, better off on my own. Now I'm free, I can breathe, left her drama to see. Psycho woman all about her, couldn't stay another hour. Packed my bag, said goodbye, no more tears left to cry.
Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the start of Season 5 for the NASCAR Class C Maconi Series. This evening we're excited to bring you top split action for the weekly straight of field race for the virtual Rockingham, North Carolina as we get set for the start of a new season. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing, including the top split for the Maconi Series, RTP, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Justin Briggs alongside the booth for tonight's coverage. Shane Mundy DJ Line working the controls as our producer for tonight's festivities. Shane, this is week 1, and we take on The Rock. It's one of the hardest tracks in all of iRacing to save tires here at Rockingham Speedway. With that in mind, what can we expect to see tonight?
Well, it depends on how long we're going green tonight. Let's take a look at the different levels of banking that this track has to offer. 22 degrees in one set of corners, 25 degrees in another set of corners. There's also about 8 degrees of banking on the straightaways here at Rockingham. Place opened back in 65, just over a mile in length. It's been a long time since we've seen real racing here, so excited to see tonight's action as maybe a preview of what we'll see next year. But as far as tonight goes, if we go green for a long time, you're going to see some guys fade, maybe some not as gracefully as others. But I think we're in for a great show. It's the start of a new season, like you said, and so everybody's got a clean slate. They want to get the Season 4 of 2024 championship for the Maconi C6 Series, and we're going to see maybe early contenders emerge tonight at a top split.
We'll see that, especially since this season, we'll see what drivers play out on the racetracks at a variety of circuits, again, following the NASCAR schedule for the most part. But key wild cards are going to be the ones to close the season. Kentucky, Auto Club, also known as California, and Atlanta to close things out. It's an interesting swing of things as the real-world NASCAR campaigns come to a close.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, the C6 Series does follow the NASCAR schedule as much as it possibly can, but during off weeks for trucks such as this week, we go to places like Rockingham, and once the NASCAR season has come to an end, which is hard to believe that we're already at this point, we will have 3 weeks of wild cards. Like you said, Atlanta to close out the season is going to be absolutely wild.
It's going to be an interesting one. Here's the wrinkle, just to receive the confirmation, wasn't sure about this. It's 13 weeks, not 12, it's 13, Shane. Charlotte's the finale, technically. So, in theory, how does that change the dynamics, knowing you have an extra week, essentially, for the points?
Well, it's definitely going to see some guys rack up more wins than usual, I would imagine. We definitely have frequent drivers here in the C6 Series every single season at a top split that emerge as championship contenders by season's end, or maybe even before that. But Charlotte to end it off, still pretty wild. And it's not often you see a week 13 be a points-paying race. Usually week 13 on iRacing is crazy, as we know, with all the kind of various random series they throw in for everybody. So I think we'll definitely see some guys take advantage of that.
So as we get ready to head to the racetrack here, plenty of competitors ready to see what they can do to start off the new season. Should be a fun night here on iRacing social media platforms and Maconi Entertainment. Once again, the start of the Maconi Fix Series campaign looks like this. So different drivers to see in the field. It looks like Jason Gratton to start up front, Tony Brewer in second, Evan Drake and Dylan Everhart, your top 4. Michael Sellers, John Peterson in the top 6, about 2/10 back. Brent Schumann and Ryan Miller, Owen Jackson triplet, and Joshua Stroud rounds out your top 10 tonight, Shane.
Yeah, Cameron Pierce back in row 6 with Josh Gratton. Dustin Slover in 13th, Jared Callen. Gregory Hartley rounds out the top 5, Josh Horn in 16th. Then it's Mark Baldwin, Daniel Bowling, 17th, 18th. Lucas Cassidy, back in 19th, and 20th on back elected not to make the qualifying lap. Michael LeBlanc, Larry Garrett, Troy Morgan, and Ryan Jalek back all the way at the rear of our field. Some of these guys, though, do like, some drivers on iRacing do prefer to not qualify. They like both the challenge of it, and of course you can gain a little bit more iRating depending on how far up the field you can make it. But it is a bit of a risk versus reward type of thing.
So real quickly, what are your keys to a good race tonight here at The Rock?
Hold on to the tires, hold on to the truck. We know that these things can be kind of snappy at times. So I think it'll be interesting to see who takes care of the rubber. I know we say that all the time here on Maconi Entertainment, but we can't put enough emphasis on just how important that is. Weather conditions, 77 degrees, air temps, and pretty cool. Track temps only 98, but we do have a bit of a wind coming from the north. 12 miles an hour there could affect things.
Just about all set to go. We're happy to have you with us for the start of a new Maconi Fix Series season. Grattan in control. Green flag is out. We're underway from the rock.
Good jump for Grattan as well. He's going to be basically clear by the time they hit turns 1 and 2. We had one truck actually elect to start from pit lane. That's Callan. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out for him because, of course, we could see some cautions here tonight. But so far, so good for Grattan. Brewer under fire from Drake for the runner-up spot.
43 laps your distance tonight, expecting a lot of people to try and run the bottom as effectively as they can. A lot of people trying to find some speed. Topside, though, use a little bit of a diamond line, a double diamond with a bit of a slide in front.
Able to hold on to it. Not entirely sure who that is. It's an all-white truck. Dustin Slover there in the 22. Just about lost it there off turn 2. Talked about it just a moment ago, JP. These trucks can be snappy at times. He's still fighting that thing.
Able to hold on to it, but that's going to definitely heat up those rear tires. Was about to say, it's a racetrack where a lot of people can slip and slide out of turn 2.
Yeah, and it looks like a absolute blast up there as well. Everybody jockeying for everything that they possibly can. Mentioned it at the start of the show that the Truck Series IRL will be returning here next year, which is super exciting for not just the facility, but all the fans that miss, Rockingham and are local to the area. And so looking at the 11 truck of Triplet here in the 7th position. Not much of a gap out front. Can throw a blanket over most of these front runners.
Triplet curling up just the 2 spots so far. But you can just see how many bumps this racetrack has on the iRacing service. Of course, this track making its return to NASCAR for the what's called the Xfinity Series and CrossFit Trucks Series in real life next year.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Obviously, the trucks ran here a little over a decade ago, back in 2013. I believe it's their last time out here. The Xfinity Series, I'm not even sure. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head the last time they were here. I mean, you could probably go back to maybe 2004, I believe. I know that's the last time we saw Cup cars out here, but it should be a great show next year. NASCAR built a great schedule. As we got the 15 bouncing off the fence there. These guys getting a little greedy early, JP.
Don't want to get over aggressive and destroy the truck this early, cause a ricochet effect. Evan Drake currently holds on to the 3rd spot still. Right now, keeping everyone behind him at bay, trying different lines here, almost trying to run the wall.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me to see everybody's different approach to the corners, and it's giving our viewers a great look at just how this place operates if they never raced here on the service or seen action on this racetrack. Some of the newer fans maybe, just how unique every part of this track is. The banking on the straightaway that leads into such high banking here in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 having different levels of banking. It's pretty exciting. We're on board with the 10 truck here of Sellers. This is a battle for the 6th position, and he's got a lot of company out behind that truck bed.
So we continue on with the racing as you see some of the battles on screen. The 10 truck now under attack. You can make passes pretty quickly here if you get a decent run. The 11 trying to showcase that. Can pinch down though from the top, but it will burn up both of their tires.
Yeah, he actually backed out of that move on the bottom, decided to get back in line with the 10. Now he's going to try to build up another run and take another crack at it. The thing with the C Fix Series is, of course, these are shorter races than, say, C Open, B Open, stuff like that. So you don't have a lot of time. We're down to 34 laps to go already. We've gone green the whole way so far. So you don't have a whole lot of time to make these moves as we got a battle for the lead. Jason Grattan's got company.
Grattan under pressure. We'll see how long he can fare on the defense, already almost a quarter of the way through the distance in the early going. It's going to be a difficult defensive battle, you'd have to think, though. They are getting very aggressive for 3rd, but right now Grattan's just been trying to manage himself with the 8 truck, hounding him within 3 truck lengths, trying to build up a run.
Yeah, and you can't help but look out the mirror sometimes. You try to tell yourself as a racer, you know, sim racer, real racer, don't look out back. Don't even pay any attention to that truck behind you. But it's hard not to. You got to pay him a little bit of mind, and sometimes it can kind of take you off your rhythm. Gratton's kind of gapped him a little bit more here the last maybe lap and a half. But obviously, long way to go. You never know if Gratton's maybe feeling the pressure having to go a little bit harder, the 8 kind of pressuring into it. You just never know what kind of different strategies anybody could have.
We're seeing those strategies start to see people move up for 1 and 2. Dylan Everhart, the 23 truck for tonight's race. It's Munsto's trying to do the same, not as much as the air. Clean air is still a valuable asset, you'd have to think. You don't want to be fed a face full of dirty air trying to battle here and then get pushed to the wall.
Absolutely not. And I mean, we kind of saw an example of that with Drake and Everhart just about a lap ago. We got a big battle here between the 10 and I believe is that the 21 to his inside dark numbers on that truck. It is a 21. And he's going to complete the pass there. So like you said, when you make moves here, you got to make them quick. You mentioned that a few laps ago, because when you have that run, when you have that opportunity to take the spot, you don't know when you're going to get another one. The dirty air is definitely affecting a lot of these guys out back, making completing the pass difficult. You could set up an attempt, but actually finishing it off is a different story. Battle for third.
Yet again, the fight's on. Everhart trying to run the bottom. Top line, momentum line. Still to be able to clear for third position. Drake handling this pressure very well so far, you have to argue.
Absolutely. Gets a little sideways there off turn 2. Almost got the wall. I've kind of noticed he's done that a few times. And we have already discussed multiple times during the show tonight, short albeit, about how important taking care of your equipment is. And this battle is not a friend of Drake at all. I mean, he's having to work his truck way harder. The side-by-side battling is allowing those front 2 to get away from them. So one of them is going to have to complete this pass for third and fast.
How fast is going to be the question mark right now. They are costing themselves some time, you'd have to think, or they'd be racing side by side like this right now. So a reset for Everhart, and they're reaching lap traffic. That's going to play a factor in a minute.
Yeah, we've gone green long enough where lappers are going to start to make their way through the field. Looks like that orange truck, not sure entirely who that was, but they've stayed up out of the way, got out of the way. The leader's showing some respect there. But right now, out front for Gratton, it's clean racetrack as we hit 25 laps to go. Are you surprised at all, JP, that we have not seen the caution flag at all?
Somewhat expect that usually off the starts and restarts here, especially down Thunder Alley.
Oh, no. Well, all right.
You ask for one, and we get one. The 3 involved in this one were under caution for the first time today.
Well, if these little virtual teams want to send me an invoice for the damage they just sustained, I'll accept that. Didn't anticipate it coming that quick. Not sure entirely what happened here. We'll take a look back at it. Mark Ball in the 3 truck. It looked to me like he had gone around and maybe collected somebody else in the process. But we'll have to take a look here and kind of dissect everything. So here we go. This is in 3 and 4. The 13 around him, and honestly at the back, you know, a lot of battling going on here. So the 13 and 3 entered very close to each other. This was not intentional. Oh my goodness, the 3 went over. Oh my goodness. Well, we know about the blowover physics. The 22 truck gets a little piece of this as well, but it looks to me like they just entered the corner a little too close to each other and kind of just got wadded up at the wrong place, wrong time, and heavy damage to both of these trucks. And obviously it's C-Fix. This isn't like any of the leagues that we cover. There are no fast repairs, so what you got's what you got.
Take one more look on the onboard. Of course, as we've seen, able to drive it away, Mark Baldwin was. Now, he goes for a wild ride with the wall angle right about here.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a unique one. That was gnarly.
That puts us under 25 laps to go here. Pit stops underway for several drivers still. And shouldn't be shocked we've seen, believe, 4 tires for most of the field here under the caution flag. So, tires really wear quickly here. You do not want to be down sets of tires and down on a tire advantage at the Rock.
Yeah, definitely not. And, you know, as for Jason Gradden, he's led the whole race from the pole. He's got our fastest lap of the race as well, clocking in at 24:15 flat in seconds, 145 in miles per hour. He's done a great job, but like you said, fresh tires are going to matter. So, you know, maybe some of these guys that are closer to the front electing not to pit is because, well, now that we're under caution, we're bunched back up, we're going green, where it's, you know, it's definitely go time now. We might see cautions breed cautions, and then they'll elect to take the tire set. But I could see some mixed strategies coming into play should that happen.
So, Gradden, again, your leader coming to 21 laps to go. How do you approach this now if you're Gradden on this restart?
Well, we got the lights back on the safety truck, or safety vehicle here. Sorry, we've done so many truck races. But as for Grattan, I mean, it kind of comes down to where I'd want to fire in the restart zone. Obviously, he's been dominant the whole race, so I suppose if I'm the Ford truck, I'm going to launch as soon as I'm able. You know, especially at shorter tracks like this, it's not as much of a disadvantage to say as if you were at like a Daytona, Talladega, place where guys can get big runs on you if you get out too far ahead. So I say he just hits that Geico restart zone and gets on the loud pedal.
Sounds simple enough, but we've seen things not be so simple coming off the corners.
Could definitely see some tires spin. The 8 definitely making sure that that does not happen to his outside, keeping scrubbing those tires. Got a lot of guys still doing that throughout the field. So you just never know. I mean, that's the beauty of racing.
Coming up to 20 laps to go in this race. Gradden, again, your race leader much of the way. He'll set things up for the restart zone where you see the white lines form up now. Green flag is out, 20 to go.
He actually waited until the green flag dropped, so we waited until that second line for the box to end. And the 8 did not get a good restart. Oh, we got trouble already in 1 and 2.
All sorts of chaos, and there goes the caution flag.
Still wrecking in 1 and 2. I'm not sure entirely what happened here. I mean, just talked about it. Cautions breeding cautions. I believe that's the 11 truck. Got the 12 down there. I think most of these guys were getting involved after, you know, most of them had stopped spinning in 1 and 2, so probably just a bit of a chain reaction.
Let's take a look. And really started up towards the front. Several drivers in that vicinity had started as high as 4th. Let's take a look, Jackson Triplett.
Yeah, he was definitely a part of this. Was one of the last trucks to drive away from the incident. Our race leader goes right there after the box. And these guys are kind of stacked up. The 8 didn't get a great start, so the top did not launch good behind them. Oh, he just loses it. 23 gets collected. Big impact there. That's going to be a lot of damage to that 11 truck. And there you see some of the other guys kind of piling in. I think that's just probably reactionary. You know, some of these guys going. There's not a lot of room to avoid a wreck here in the corners, especially on restart.
And that at least collected 6+ drivers in the incident once again for this caution flag. 17 truck got on the brakes. Chaos in front.
Yeah, so some of them were locking up, trying to, you know, come to a quick stop to ensure that they weren't going to be a part of it. And the 12 gets punted in the process. So, sure, that's not a very happy driver behind that Tundra, but we'll see how they play it from here. Now, this did open pit road again, of course, under this caution. Don't believe we had many takers at all. So it's going to be interesting. These guys are already, you know, ready to get doubled up. They're antsy. They're ready to go. Lights aren't even off on the pace car yet. But I think we could be in for another kind of chaotic restart. We'll see if the 4 decides to launch in the same place. It looked to me like the last restart he made a great call to go where he did.
Let's take a quick break. We're back for the green flag. 17 coming to 16 to go here from the Rock.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everyone, to Maconi Entertainment's coverage of the Maconi Fix Series as we are getting in position for a 15-lap or so shootout here from iRacing's virtual Rockingham, North Carolina. Lights are out. Grattan's led much of the way, and now we'll see how he handles the pressure coming up to a restart here in just a little bit.
Yeah, we're coming back around to get the green flag. It's been all Grattan, like you said, so far, but that 9 truck, I'm going to keep an eye on him this restart. Schumann in the 9 got a great restart that last time. Now, of course, he was on the bottom in the position that Brewer is now, so they kind of flipped roles for this restart. Brewer didn't get going all that good that last restart. It allowed Schumann to get by, but unfortunately for Schumann, he now has to restart on the outside of the front row, which we know can kind of be a disadvantage in iRacing.
It's going to be an interesting position now for these drivers here. Grattan get this done. To the restart zone, green flag is out, 15 laps to go.
And the 9 immediately tried to get down to the bottom. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to do so, and Brewer's going to throw it in there. Got some guys almost 3 wide through 1 and 2. Lots of jockeying for position behind him, but it's Grattan pulling away out front, coming to 14 to go. Got 1 sideways and into the inside wall on the backstretch. I think that's far enough back that will stay under green. It's the 18 truck.
Gregory Hartley this time going sideways. As Munso's getting laps down before the first caution of the race. Stay green as the top 3 of single file. Everybody else staying 2 by 2 or trying to get themselves single filed at least in the Hornet's Nest.
And a Hornet's Nest it is. This is chaotic. I mean, after you get away from 3rd, it is just a wad of cars. You got the battle for 4th here. 21's going to take it down into 1, drove it in deep, and was able to clear the 10.
Still working our way down towards 12 laps to go in this race as we settle in. Some people are now testing that top line again, trying to see, is that going to be enough in these late stages?
I just don't know. I mean, I think at this point you can't necessarily bank on another caution coming out, so I think at this point what you got might be what you got, but we'll just have to wait and see. Not to jinx it like I did moments ago, but I'll tell you what, this 15 truck has absolutely just fell off. I mean, was running inside the top 3 most of the early going of this race, and now continues to fall back.
Seen that with the slab at 15, especially on one of the previous restarts. It's now going to be a 10-lap dash here to close things out for the race. Can we close it out strong? Can we close it out green? Grattan still in control as we take a look at a couple of the battles. Still towards the mid-pack. Going to that 22, who's had some slides today. The 1, going to take an I-rating hit if things don't improve here. Needs to gain time at the caution. It's behind them with a 14.
I got a couple around here. Well, mainly 1 around 16. I'm not sure has any damage from this. Might have just come to a stop to avoid the accident, but we'll take a look at it. We're under 10 to go now. Let's pull up that replay now. Tight quarters, of course. The 16 maybe against the wall. Ooh. Okay, so he does get a little piece. I think the 14 might have got a little tap from the 7, and it upset that truck plenty to send him around.
So we're under caution with under 9 laps to go. And this is a tough choice for pit strategy. Grattan doesn't look like he's coming. Second place is going to come in.
This is kind of an interesting call. I mean, got a few other takers out behind him, but this is the main front runner that's coming down to pit road. The Ford truck, of course, elected to stay out. Grattan, our race leader, dominant race leader. So an interesting strategy call, especially, I mean, we're going to restart probably 6, maybe 5 laps to go at the least.
Yeah, Schumann just getting out of the strategy here. One of the rearwheel crew members, believe. Able to get off and away with 4 tires. We'll see if there's going to be enough time for him to push on the tires.
Yeah, only time is going to be able to tell. We're doubled up and ready to go. These guys are antsy. They've been doing this all day. So, despite the lights not yet being off on our pace car, we're getting there, and this is going to be an intense restart. Miller in the 21, we saw him get clear of the 10 truck for the 3rd position right before this caution came out on that last restart. So now he's in a position where he gets to restart right behind the leader. So if he can time it right, we've seen Brewer already struggle on the outside once on a restart. Miller could set himself up for, at the least, maybe a runner-up finish, but could possibly give Grattan an unexpected run for this win.
Looking at about a 5-lap shootout to decide this race. Grattan. We'll see how this goes. And you have to consider some of the other drivers that are charging up through this field, like the 22 we've seen already a couple times. A few drivers are going to be licking their chops to prove they can keep up, and better yet, have a chance to get side by side here.
Yeah, which not many people have been able to do. I mean, I feel like as long as Grattan can get a good restart, then probably no concerns. I mean, this has just been his race so far. We pointed out the 9 truck hit pit road that last, or under this caution, and he's restarting in what you definitely referred to as the hornet's nest, and almost literally, I mean, it is just everybody buzzing around for position. It is pretty wild. So I'm definitely interested by the call by Schumann, who's going to be restarting in, I believe, the 13th position when we go green. And I mean, the lights are off now, and we're only going to have 5 laps. So I'm not sure about that one.
So, one to go into the restart. This time by Grattan still in control. Brewer up there second. Sellers up there as well. Miller and Slover still having chances as well, depending on what happens.
It's going to be a heck of a battle. I mean, look how tight these guys are already getting up for this restart. They know that this is possibly the biggest restart of the day. At least it definitely is up to this point. We might get another one, but for now, you got to treat it like it's the last.
Green flag is out, back underway. Grattan already clear. And the fight is more so on for 3rd than it is for the lead.
Yeah, this battle for 2nd didn't last long at all. The 8 was actually able to get clear very easily. Definitely some battles towards the mid and back of the pack. Got one in the inside wall already as well. I think it'll be same song 2nd versus earlier, where they are plenty out of the way. So 17, John Peterson. A lot of damage to that truck. I think he's going to have to bring this straight to pit road, out of the way enough where we will stay green. Looking at the 9 of Schumann, who, believe it or not, has already cracked him to the top 10. But I just don't know if he's got... Oh, and now he's in the wall.
Schumann bounces off the wall a couple times. In fact, the backdrop. We still race with 3 laps to go. Good job by the field not to get collected there. Grattan stays in control up front.
Yeah, that is just, I think that kind of cements even more that the move by the 9 was just not the right one in terms of maybe not battling for the win, but would have probably finished better. Still got people bouncing off the wall out the back. Turn 2 has definitely been the exit of turn 2 has definitely been the problem spot for many of these guys throughout the day. It's all Grattan out ahead of Brewer right now. Not much competition there. Battles for most of the spots are behind them as we're in the final about lap and a half at Rockingham.
Final couple laps. Battles go on to cross the field, but it's Grattan who comes around and will take the white flag this time by. Jason Grattan has led this entire way. He's ready to close it.
And he deserves it. I mean, flag to flag from the pole. No pressure out behind him. I think our podium is pretty much wrapped up as well. Final corners for Jason Grattan.
Jason Grattan doing well all night tonight. Takes the checker flag, gets it done over Brewer and Miller. He gets it at the Rock.
Great dominant performance out of Jason Grattan. And a bit of a statement to maybe some of these other guys that are going to have to compete against him this week at Rockingham. It's going to be a tough one to beat.
So Grattan gets the chance to celebrate here. Picks up a victory on SOF night. And it looks like he is ready to light him up.
We either light him up or we're maybe getting a bit of a Martin celebration here where no burnout. Or, oh, here we go. Now he drops the clutch.
Jason Grattan gets the job done here tonight. Gets to put up some smoke here for Fixed Action Maconi Fixed Series. Post-race coverage coming up. Let's take a break. More after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Maconi Fixed Series here from Rockingham after an eventful one for some drivers here at the Rock. Let's take a look at your in-sim official race results here as we see Grattan come away with the win. Did so by nearly 7/10 over Tony Brewer, Ryan Miller, Dustin Slover, and Michael Sellers finishing in the top 5. Pierce, Drake recovered a 7th from some slides. LeBlanc, Dylan Everhart, and Brandon Schumann, after hitting the wall, finished in 10th tonight.
And then we got Josh Gratton back in 11th, Josh Korn, Brian Jalek, Joshua Stroud, and rounding out the top 15 finishers is Larry Garrett. There's Jackson Triplett, Jared Callen, and Daniel Bowling. Last truck on the lead lap, Troy Morgan. John Peterson rounds out the race in 20th, 4 laps down. Gregory Hartley 5 down in 21st, and then Mark Baldwin, Lucas Cassidy 22nd, 23rd.
That's from John's bottom of the running order here tonight from The Rock. Your thoughts on tonight's race here, Shane, as in the end, it was an eventful one in the mid-pack.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot tonight. We definitely saw the action that Rockingham can obviously bring some excitement for what we'll see on the real track next year. And then next week, of course, we head to Bristol Motor Speedway. Always gotta love the world's fastest half mile. It's just nothing like it. I think next week's broadcast will possibly be more insane than this one. But I mean, tonight we had guys flipping over. We had a little bit of everything. Dominant performance. We'll just see what next week brings.
That'll be September the 18th, a 7:15 p.m. start once again here on iRacing social media platforms and Maconi Entertainment. Be sure to tune in. On that note, it's time to say thank you to Maconi Setup Shop as well as you, the viewers, for tuning in tonight. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Brandon Laster. Or should say Brandon Laster. He was away tonight. Shane Mundy alongside tonight. DJ Lyon was producing. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's action. We hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.